Yeah, hello to everyone. Again, I'm Mykhailo Samus, and I'm director of New Geopolitics Research Network. Actually, first of all, I'd like to thanks to Ukrainian soldiers that they allow us to be here. And I always talking about it, but it's really important to remember about these guys and girls who defending us, especially for Ukrainians. But I think it's even wider than Ukrainians. It's belongs to all of us. Okay, how it works? Yeah, the content. What is the important? Why the idea of Balkan-Ukraine cooperation network or platform is important for us now? That it's a global transformation now. Even somebody could say that it's only regional or local conflict now going in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine. And yesterday, even Elon Musk started to try to understand the situation and gave some very, I think, not very smart sentences. It's proof that even we work a lot of disinformation about the informational attacks, about the hybrid warfare, but still even Elon Musk didn't understand properly situation. Even Elon Musk helping us with some very smart things to even on the warfare, but still didn't understand the situation between Russia and Ukraine. And I think that our network will help it. And our panels even in Darko and Mariana will try to help Elon Musk understand the situation. I hope that the main idea of why the not only Balkan-Ukraine cooperation, of course, but understanding of Europeans at all, why we should try to create something new and understand situation in absolutely different way, because it's a global transformation. It's a global transformation in geopolitics, in economical situation in around the world, in energy, for example. And not only Ukrainian oligarchs, but and European oligarchs should understand, never been the same energy for their businesses, never been the same. It will be absolutely different situation. They should find a new way, and they should understand that Russia will be out of the global economical structure, and they need to find a new way for energy, for example, new sources. And it's absolutely different understanding of the global paradigm. Of course, it's influence on international relationship. What does it mean, this conflict for Ukraine? It means that we are fighting for freedom. What it doesn't mean for Russia. For Russia, it's trying to revenge, and Putin very clear defined the Russian concept of this war. It's he told that the collapse of Soviet Union was the greatest catastrophical in geopolitical catastrophe on the 20th century, and he'd like to revenge it. So build a new Soviet Empire 2.0. And of course, for Russia, if we're talking about the empire, Ukraine is it's a key stone in this empire. That's why we are fighting for freedom, and Russia fighting for renew the empire. They're trying to renew the old world. We're trying to build new world. And I hope that together we'll build new world finally. Even Elon Musk on this strange point now. Talking about Ukraine and Balkans, I think that we still live in the same old stereotypes and myths, and this is absolutely great problem, because it's actually playing the same for any countries around Ukraine, because unfortunately a lot of countries didn't see Ukraine on the map before this war. even after 2014, sometimes countries didn't understand what it means for Russia and Ukraine. This relationship, maybe it was just a Khrushchev mistake, maybe it was some different relationship between two. This how, like, the popular thing is, we are the same people, Russians and Ukrainian, the same people, they are brothers, so they should solve this problem together, and it's not an external problem for entire world, especially for Ukraine and Europe. But talking about the Balkans and Ukraine, I think it's very important to understand now that all of these stereotypes and myths should be aside of us, and we should go forward. We should find the way to understand each other from Ukrainian, Bosnian and Herzegovina, Serbian, Croatian, Montenegro, Northern Macedonia, and other countries, as I told, and Balkans region, to understand each other in a new way. We should understand that all of us on the maps, on the map, and we try to build a new understanding of each other. We need to meet each other again, and fresh our understanding of each other. It's very important, because living in these stereotypes, because in Ukraine we had a lot of stereotypes on former Yugoslavia, how we understand it, and of course in Balkans there are a lot of stereotypes about Ukraine and Russia, and that there's the same people, that actually the Russia is Slavic leader of the world, and we need to support Russia because they are fighting for Orthodox and Slavic people. Why Ukrainians are fighting against Russians? It's impossible to understand, because it means that they are fighting to support Western NATO point of view. It's possible to find this understanding of the situation like this, and it's very important to talk with people, to discuss with people about this. And I think our platform, our network, is an attempt to do it, and it's very important to collect all of us, try to not find the same understanding of the situation, but to try to understand each other a new way, a fresh way, not a stereotype and myth and mythology before. A little bit on the situation on the battlefield, because even we sitting here in the comfortable hotel, but still very strong fighting now in Ukraine. And the good news for Ukraine and bad news for Putin, that Putin actually lost the war. And Putin lost the war 24th of February, when he decided to attack Ukraine at full scale. And as I'm a military analyst, it was a long story of analyzing the situation. And always when somebody asked me before 24th of February, well, Putin attacked Ukraine at full scale, and always my estimation was, of course, it's possible. From military point of view, Russia prepared for attacking Ukraine at full scale approximately since August 2016, when he built a new free armies around Ukraine. And from military point of view, it was possible. But my answer always, if he decided, it would be a catastrophic situation for Russia. And if Russia still have intelligence, if Russia has analysts, they need to report to Putin that it will be catastrophe for a Russian state. Unfortunately, we found that Russia didn't have intelligence. They don't have. Still, as we see the decisions what making in Kremlin, and unfortunately they still making bad decisions after 24th. After 24th, they had a catastrophic situation military point of view around Kiev. Even they tried to get it for 3 days. They escaped from Kiev Oblast, Chernihiv, Sumy Oblast from the northern part of Ukraine, and started to attack Donbass and southern part of Ukraine. And finally, Ukraine, even it's like a fantastic, but Ukraine destroyed all of a regular army of Russia for now. It's true. Before a full-scale invasion, Russia had approximately 150,000 troops, especially designed to attack Ukraine. Now all of these troops destroyed. And that's why they started to make this so-called mobilization, even it's not a mobilization, because they had a reform in 2010. It was a Minister of Defense in Russia, Serdikov. He decided to copy American style of the armed forces, and they destroy mobilization system. And now Putin decided to use destroyed mobilization system. And you saw this chaos and absolutely disorder in making this mobilization. So if you're talking about the military application and military reason and military fullness of this mobilization, I would say it really close to zero, because in these people who didn't prepare for a war, didn't prepare for military tasks, they just get in military uniform and send it to the front. We always found in the prisoners of war mobilized 1 week ago. So it's crazy, just people getting from the civilian life and send it to the very strong fighting on the front. What we have now on the battlefield, we have a Ukrainian asymmetric approach, because it's a possible talk about the symmetric fighting, a symmetric approach of Ukraine, because it's possible to compare Ukrainian armed forces and Russian armed forces, Ukrainian size of population, territory, and economy, and Russian size of economy, territory, and population. So Ukraine, of course, chose the asymmetric approach. It means that we need to fight in a smart way with centric network warfare. It means that Ukrainian armed forces is the complex of intelligence, command and control system, and weapon. And all of this system working in the real scale of time. Compared to Russians, which using the Second World War approach, Second World War model with massive artillery, massive troops, trying to go in directly on enemy. You saw what they done on Donbass. They using like a front attacks for months, trying to break through Ukrainian defense and no success. Now we have a very successful offensive operations on the eastern part of Ukraine. Ukrainian armed forces deliberated Kharkiv Oblast and now preparing offensive operations to deliberate Lugansk Oblast. And the southern part, Ukrainian armed forces creating conditions to deliberate Kherson Oblast, which is very important to prepare next stages, including Crimea. And of course, it will be very interesting to see how Russia will react. We see the trying of a blackmail with tactical nuclear weapon. We see the trying to blackmail with all of possible means, with including energy. And Putin very hopes that Europe will stop supporting Ukraine because of energy crisis created by Russia this winter. We will see how it will be in reality. I hope that Europe will prepare properly for this threat, but Putin very hope on this hybrid warfare, because in military means, I repeat, Russian regularly armed forces already destroyed. Now they're trying to use mobilized armed forces, but it's, compare the regular armed forces and mobilized armed forces, especially when you have a destroyed mobilization system, it's absolutely disaster for Russians. And I could predict the more and more military problems on battlefield for Putin. So he will try to, of course, using the nuclear blackmail and energy and economical blackmail against Ukraine and Europe. Okay, forecast and implication for our network. What can I say? That of course, if you're talking about the military situation, I think that from military point of view, Russia already has no prospects to change the battlefield, change the paradigm of developments, and that's why I could predict the military defeat of Russia. And again, even Elon Musk trying to help Russia, but it won't work at all, because Ukrainian armed forces they don't have a Twitter now; they just fighting. So I think that military defeat of Russia is pretty real. Of course, it depends on help of and support of our allies. If we're talking about the battlefield and Ukrainian paradigm of asymmetric warfare, the critical point is Western support with smart weapons, with high precision weapon, with strong intelligence systems to find the very precise coordinates of enemy targets, and after this send it to Ukrainian weapon, HIMARS or UAVs to destroy Russians on the battlefield. And if you send 1 million of mobilized, very bad prepared, mobilized soldiers, it doesn't matter for HIMARS how many people will die on the battlefields. So unfortunately, Russian society, Russian citizens, they cannot understand that this is their turn to take part in this situation. Somebody of them, they escaping from Russia, to Georgia, to Kazakhstan, to Serbia, even here in Bosnia. Somebody trying to say that, okay, I will just try to participate in this mobilization, but I won't fight. Somebody is believe that Putin is right, and they are doing very nice things, fighting with Ukrainian Nazis. But anyway, the military defeat of Russia will create problems inside of Russia. And next developments on this part of the former Soviet Empire will be a collapse of Russian Federation, because Russian Federation, it's not, of course, a federation. And actually, anyway, this transformation, I'm not going to say that what kind of state of states will be created after the collapse of Russian Federation, but it will be decolonization of nations who lived hundreds of years under control of Russians. It's a lot of these nations. It's a lot of them. And of course, it's very important for post-Soviet countries. Even Ukraine already is not post-Soviet country, it's a part of Europe. But anyway, we should be prepared for it. The problem of 1991, after the collapse of Soviet Union, that Western countries, they didn't support the, I think that intentions of a lot of nations inside of Russia to be sovereign states. It was a lot of attempts on it, but unfortunately it was easier for everybody to keep situation and like inside of Russia. And for example, the place in Security Council for Russian Federation was absolutely out of legal procedure. Do you know it? That Russian Federation now illegally sitting not only in Security Council but United Nations. If you look at the legal procedure, Russian country with name of Russian Federation never apply for membership, and we had a procedure to approve the membership of this country. And the problem is that this country now ruling Security Council of United Nations. This is the global problem, and this is problem the consequences of 1991 unpreparedness of Western countries to continue transformation of Russia, transformation of how Ukrainian classical saying that the prison of nation. It was a long story ago, but in Ukraine we call Russia as a prison of nation. So now a time of decolonization of Russia, and it's not I think it's not a dream. I think it's a really practical things, and we need to be prepared for it. That's why I think we need to talk with each other on between Balkan countries and Ukraine to be prepared for it, to be better prepare for it and to create own understanding of the next developments.